Hello, I'm Bill English, and I'm the founder of OnPath Coaching and OnPath Counseling. I want to thank you for joining me today. Welcome back. Business owners come to me when they want more free time, higher profits, a stronger marriage, and a closer walk with God. This episode is the 8th of a 10-part series I've titled Narcissism in the Business Owner Community. If you want to watch the other videos in this series, then please head over to my YouTube channel at OnPath Coaching. Now, two cautions before we get started. First, these videos are educational in nature and should not be used to diagnose any mental health condition. And secondly, I'm going to encourage you not to label anyone a narcissist. Not only is diagnosing narcissism difficult, you're probably going to be wrong. So just have a better life and don't label anybody as a narcissist. So the question that we have for today's episode is this: how does narcissism show up in the day-to-day activities of a narcissistic business owner? Well, there are several ways, so let's get started. First, as we know, narcissists often continually pull the focus of the room back onto themselves. This means that business owners may get into a meeting, and in their narcissism, they'll hijack a meeting to go off on some tangent about a new big idea that in the owner's mind is the latest, greatest new thing that everybody needs to focus on. The owner will conclude that he is the only one smart enough to understand the brilliance of his new idea and how, if it was properly implemented, it could revolutionize his company or his industry or even society. Now, he will become visibly angry and irritated when someone criticizes his idea, and he'll lament that his own staff could never execute his ideas successfully. And so that will lead him to become sullen, frustrated, or disappointed in his staff's what he perceives mediocre capabilities. He'll blame his staff for not being able to execute his big idea without any understanding or acceptance that his idea has flaws and problems in it. A debilitating aspect of this dynamic is that he'll likely have another big idea in another month or 2 or 3. And when he does, he'll want everybody to drop what they're doing and refocus on the next big idea. He'll swap out big ideas on a regular basis, hijacking meetings to talk about those ideas, and cause his staff to quietly and passively resist new directives. And in his wake will be a pile of half-baked, half-accomplished efforts, plus a tired, frustrated, and dejected staff who really are only showing up to get a paycheck until they can find a better job somewhere else. Now, the narcissist owner will also take a command and control approach in his micromanagement of others because he honestly believes that no one on staff, including his key employees, is as smart or as talented or as intuitive as he is. He will hate the mistakes of others and be highly critical of them, but will be incredibly gracious and accommodating and forgiving when he makes his own mistake. Vendors who know how to flatter a narcissist business owner are much more likely to land a contract, frankly, than those who don't engage in flattery. And if a narcissistic owner doesn't like a vendor or an employee, he may very well act and talk in a way that makes them feel highly inadequate, dismissed, or discounted. In fact, this is usually his method of termination. He just makes his employee or his vendor so miserable that they choose to quit. Now, here are some other ways that you'll see narcissism reveal itself in the persona of a business owner. For example, the owner will take sole credit for team success, but shift blame to his team or external factors when there is a failure. Another way is that the owner may believe that he is above the law, so he'll push the envelope on compliance or on following the letter of the law. And he may actually engage in some unethical behaviors. And C, the next one, third one, the owner may surround himself with yes people who will use flattery to maintain their power and their jobs. Also, a narcissistic owner may prioritize his needs over the needs of his business and his employees. I know of one owner who spontaneously cleaned out the business checking account so that he could fly to Europe with his family on an impulsive vacation, and he missed payroll as a result. Also, the owner may engage in sudden rage when he is faced with criticism or aggression. And he may twist facts and deny previous statements to maintain control of a situation. Finally, the owner may reward loyalty and marginalize those who don't tell them what they want to hear. Overall, the business culture of a narcissistic business owner likely will be highly toxic with high turnover and low innovation. Innovation will be stifled because from the owner's perspective, anyone's innovation will never be as good as his next big idea. So those are some of the ways that narcissism is going to show up in the day-to-day activities of a narcissistic business owner. Now, in the next video, I'm going to spend some real time on how you can manage yourself better when you're working with a narcissist. They are difficult to work with, but not impossible. I'm Bill English, a Minnesota psychologist and a Christian counselor. Over the last 30 years, I've also been the CEO of 5 different companies in 5 different verticals, ranging in size from $75,000 to $25 million. If you'd like to speak with me directly, please visit OnPathCoaching.com and then either call me on my cell phone directly or schedule a free 30-minute video call with me. I think you'll be glad that you and I spoke. Have a blessed day. Take care.